Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. One of my viewers wanted to know why a heterosexual man would be staring at another heterosexual man. Now, this is something I've had to deal with ever since I was in junior high school at 12 years old, and the main reason why a man stares at another man has to do with power. Now, when it comes down to your guys who try to stare down other guys, it's because that male is feeling extremely inadequate about his own masculinity and male presence in the presence of another man. Now, this is due to his, again, insecurities about himself because he sees another man who is radiating a stronger masculine energy, has a stronger masculine presence, and is radiating a lot more confidence than he does. So because he feels inadequate and insecure in the presence of another heterosexual man, what this male will do is he will go primal, and part of the way of going primal is by staring down that man in the hopes of making that man submit in his presence. So the goal of a stare down is to get that man to submit, and what he wants the man to do is, once he sees him staring at him, is to drop his eyes to the floor. Once that man drops his eyes to the floor, that other male will feel like he has all of the power and control of the room, and he will feel secure about his masculinity. Now, this is a false sense of security because all he's done is take things down to the primal level. The other man still has a stronger masculine presence than he does and still has stronger masculine energy. If anything, the other male who is instigating the stare down is the one who feels inadequate and feels insecure and feels powerless in the presence of other men, and his insecurities will be the thing that will undo him in the future. And the reason why his insecurities will be the thing that undoes him is because he will constantly continue to run into other heterosexual men, and he will run into men who also have more masculine energy and masculine presence than he does, and he will still try to stare down those men. And what will happen is that he's going to continue to have issues with those men. That is an issue that that male has, and again, it's about his own feelings of inadequacy in himself. Because men who are confident and men who have strong masculine presence, they are not concerned about another man. They are not interested in how another man feels about them. No, men who are secure in their own manhood and their own masculinity, they stay in their own lane. And as they're staying in their own lane, they're only focused on who approaches them, and they're going to deal with them if they want to have a face-to-face discussion. Many of these guys who initiate the stare downs are really big-time cowards, and they want to go out here and try to make a man submit from afar because they don't have the courage to go face-to-face. And they use the stare down as a primal way to try to make a man submit, but it just shows how powerless they feel about being a man, because a man of character, again, does not need to stare down another man. No, a man of character, he can go face to face and head up with another individual, and he can go out here and work out whatever issues he has with a man because he is confident in himself. But the guys who stare another man down, that just shows how weak these guys are, that they have to take things to the primal or the bestial level, and they're going bestial because they cannot deal with a man on a level of intelligence. Now, your males who are out here and participate in these types of stare downs also do this because some of these males out here are sexually suspect. And your sexually suspect male, he'll oftentimes look like a heterosexual man, but in actuality, he's a man who is interested in other men, but he wants to play heterosexual, but he wants to low-key check for other men. So you'll have this guy, he will also try to stare down a man in the same way a female checks out a guy, but he'll sit there and try to make it look like, oh, I'm just looking at this dude, I'm trying to appear tough, but this dude is doing this because he is sexually suspect, and he's doing this because he has a low-key interest in that man. So there's different types of guys who try to stare guys down, and this is one you really have to look out for, because this is the kind of guy, he really wants to go out here and play it like he's straight, but really he's one of these guys who is homosexual and just doesn't want anybody to know that he has homosexual feelings for men, and he hasn't even sorted out his own homosexual feelings for men, because again, a guy will just take a quick look at another guy and then keep it moving, and his main focus is on getting where he wants to go. And he may take a quick look at a guy, he may take a quick look at a female in his presence, but then if he's not socially engaging that person, he's going to keep it moving because he's got other stuff to do. But your guys out here who are staring, it is either because they have these feelings of inadequacy, or they're just plain one of these guys who is sexually suspect and has not come out of the closet, because again, the only people who do this is guys who are either looking for trouble or looking for love. But in both cases, this is something heterosexual men, they don't really get fazed by, because a heterosexual man is in control of himself. He has strong discipline, and he deals with people who want to deal with him. He does not go out here and look to try to deal with people who are looking to cause trouble. So a heterosexual man, he's going to go out here and he's going to understand that if this guy wants to play the stare down game, he's going to act like he's completely unfazed, and he's going to keep it moving, because the way you deal with the stare down game is to act like you, not even act like you don't care, just not care at all. Because if he's man enough to look, then he's man enough to go face to face, and if he's not man enough to go face to face, then he's not worth your time. Because the guys who want to do stare down game are basically little cowards, and they don't have the courage to go at a man like a man. They don't have the courage to approach a man like a man. No, they want to play stare down game because they are scared, and they want to try to scare you and intimidate you. But you can't get intimidated, because again, if this man was, if you were so important to him, he could go and talk to you like a man. And if he can't talk to you at all, then you have no regard for him or his stare down game, because healthy heterosexual men do not have to go out here and look. They can go out here and approach, and they approach because they have confidence in themselves, and they know that if there's a problem, they can go out here and solve it. But this guy, he's afraid of solving a problem, because his problem is a man who is confident in himself, a man who has swagger, a man who has style, and he cannot deal with the fact that he is having to deal with real competition from another man, and he cannot deal with the fact that this competition from this other man is strong, and he cannot deal with the fact that there's a man standing before him that he's not on the same level as. And that's why he has to go primal, because he cannot get on your level, and what he wants to do is bring you down to his level. But do not let that man bring you down to his level. Always keep yourself on a high level, because when you're on a high level, people have to come and step to you. And when they step to you, they have to step to a higher standard. And usually those guys who do the stare downs, they cannot step to your level, so they have to step away. And when they step away, that's how you see who the real weak one in the room truly is. Now, if you want to pick up some of my men's issues books, like Stop Simping, The Man Crisis, Stop Simping in Cyberspace, Stop Simping in the Workplace, and Why 70% of Black Women Are Single and Misadventures of Captain Save 'Em. You can find those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find many of these books on Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want me to make a video like the viewer requested in this case, you can donate to my Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. And if I know something about that subject, I'll make that video for you. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle, Stop Simping in Cyberspace. Learn how to avoid predatory females like Instagram models and e-girls in their virtual con games with Stop Simping in Cyberspace. Get your copy of Stop Simping in Cyberspace in paperback and Kindle today.